So yesterday we looked at the reciprocal ones. Today we're going to take a look at the graphing of these. So again, cosecant is 1 over the sine of x. So if we were to do a rough sketch of the sine of x, remember it starts in our center. Oops, let me erase that. It's going to down, low, high. I am totally messed up right there. Let me try that again. High, mid, low, mid. Low, mid, high, mid. Okay, so there's our sine of x, the reciprocal, right? We can't divide by 0. So anytime our sine is 0, so right here, anytime it hits that midline, we are going to have asymptotes, right? Because we can't divide by 0. And then what happens is our reciprocal is it flips it. So it still has that point because 1 over -1 is still -1. And then this would be flipped out like this. So our secant is like the cosine. So cosine starts high. So again, I'm going to dash in this cosine. And then anywhere where there is a 0, we can't divide by 0. Because again, this is 1 over the cosine of x. So anywhere there's a 0, there's an asymptote. And then I just take it and I flip it. So it looks really messy. There's a lot going on these graphs. But our graph isn't the dashed line, it's those flipped U's. And then cotangent, 1 over the tangent, which is 1 over sine over cosine. So it'd be 1 times cosine over sine. So this is cotangent, is really the cosine of x over the sine of x, okay? So once again, where our sine of x is equal to 0, so sine is y, there's going to be these asymptotes. So at 0 and pi, right? So it's kind of like saying before it started at pi over 2, it's 0 in every pi k, right? Every period, or pi over b. So our start value for our vertical asymptotes is different. And again, it's this way, but rather than going low to high, it goes high to low, is our reciprocal. So this first graph, I'm going to graph it as if it was a cosine. So our midline's at -1. We go up 3 and down 3. And our cosine, so there's no period change or anything, so cosine starts high, mid, low, mid. And then, let's see here. Mid, low, mid, high. I'm gonna erase this one, that's not supposed to be there. So our vertical asymptotes, wherever there's a 0 at our, which would be at our midline. So where are they? Well, it's at pi over 2 plus pi. Okay, so here's another one. Okay, and then we gotta flip it. So it would be here. Oh shoot, you guys, I think I put this one too far over. I know I did. I apologize for that. This is gonna look really messy. So it would flip here, and it'd be up here again, and down here. So what is our range? Well, it goes from -infinity to -4, and then it starts again from 2 to infinity. And you can kind of think of this, if this was a cosine, like if you were to think of our high, our mid, our low on just the cosine, it's -1, our high is at 2, and our low is at -4. So it's on the outside of those. All right, so this is a sine. So our midline is at 1. And our 2. All right, so this one, period 2 pi. So it's a sine, so it starts at 0, at our midline, but it moves to the right pi over 2. So it's really starting here. And then it would go high, mid, low. And I feel I did that line. I am just all sorts of messed up today. 2 below, right here. So low, mid, high, mid, low. So that's our sine shifted. Our verticals would be where it crosses the midline. So our verticals are at pi over 2 plus pi k. And then again, our u's just take that high point and there we have it. So our range would be from negative infinity to negative 1. It includes negative 1, and then it starts again at 3 to infinity. So our tangent. All right. Well, let's see. What's our period here? It would be pi over 2. Okay. So this one, right? So it starts at pi, because our verticals would be 0 plus our period, pi over 2. So there's a ton of verticals on this one. And a vertical plus pi, oh shoot, we need to move these to the left pi. But if I move it to the left pi, right, it's really not going to shift these at all, because they're every pi over 2. Okay, and this is a cotangent, and it didn't move up 2 or anything, so it would be here. And I'm not going to draw all of these in. So it's our midline that goes through 0, and then it would be going down. So our range is negative infinity to positive infinity, and our vertical asymptotes starts at 0 and every pi over 2k. So you could just say pi over 2.